Hey there and welcome to Cars with Nash. So today we're working on the LR3, 2005 Land Rover LR3, and this video will apply to 2005 to 2009 LR3s and starter replacement. And we've already got the new starter on and working, so we're going to show you how we did it. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a full tool list with you. You're going to need a 22mm socket to take your lug nuts off. You're going to need a 13mm wrench, ratcheting wrench, and probably a ratchet with a short 13mm socket on it. And you're going to need a 10mm deep socket to get those nuts off of the heat shield. And you're probably going to want a 10mm ratcheting wrench as well. You're going to want a pry bar because that starter sticks in there and you kind of got to tap it or pry on it or something to get it out of its position once you get it unbolted. And is that about it, Nash, or is there anything we're forgetting there?
I don't think so. Not much needed.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard of a job. If we had to do it again, I think it would be really easy. We did it in the dark and it took us probably about 3 hours. So I'd allow for 3 or 4 hours, but other than that, not too bad. And the starter slips out down here, just comes out in this area here, so there's no need to remove the skid plate or anything like that. If you have really big arms and you want to do this easier, remove the upper control arm, but otherwise it is doable through here. So the very first step is you want to disconnect your battery negative, just the negative terminal. It is tight, it's very tight. You access through here and also through here for one of the bolts. And so I'll get the camera up in there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I did see a few other videos where people removed the wheel liner and the skid plate, and I'm just going to tell you there's no need to do that. Don't do that. It doesn't help you at all. So what you want to do, first step, is there's heat shields here, and there's, what is it, Nash, 5 or 6 bolts?
I removed 5 bolts.
Okay, 5 bolts out of the heat shields, and they're kind of like 3 interlocking pieces in here or something like that. And then you get in there to that top bolt, that one right there that I'm pointing to, right there, and it's 13mm. And you can get on it with a normal wrench. We even got a slim ratchet in there that was really fine toothed. That's how we broke it loose. Ideally, a ratcheting wrench is how you're going to back it out of there. You want to get that fully out before you touch the other bolt, because the other bolt's easy. This one's very tough. You also want to get the electrical connections off, and they're going to be hard for me to even show you. Okay. Electrical connection is that red thing there. You have to peel back the red rubber cover, and then there's a 13mm nut you take off. Take that off before you get the starter fully off. Unplug the black wire underneath. There's a push tab on it, right on the top of it. You push that down, and it will be pretty hard to pull out because it's got like a heat casing on the wire, so it's really stiff. You might have to actually get the starter out and down to get that plug out, just because of that. Otherwise, I was able to plug it back in with the starter in place, no problem. So this is what I'm talking about here. There's a little tab right here you depress and then work that out. But there's not much to grab. You can kind of pull on the wires a little, don't pull too hard. And here there will be a 13mm nut that you break loose. And that's pretty much it for the hard part. And then there's a right in there, it's hard for me to point to, but dead center in the screen there, that bolt, and it's quite a long one, and both of these bolts were quite tight, quite hard to break loose. But yeah, you can get in there, same thing with a normal ring wrench, and then you can use a ratcheting wrench or a 1/4 inch ratchet and a small socket. Another tip I'll give you, when you're putting the electrical terminal back on, you'll find it's really hard to get that nut started in there. So what I did is I taped the 13mm nut. I taped it into the socket, and then I used the socket, a long socket, as a handle to start the nut. And you do have a direct shot on it, so you can do that. So it's not too bad if you know all that. So the other thing is, of course, you do all the work through the wheel well. So make sure you have your vehicle supported. We have a jack stand under there. We have our jack under there. We put our wheel under there just as extra security. And then when you put the wheel back on, what's the torque spec on these? Put a torque spec caption on the screen, okay, Nash?
Okay.
Nash is editing the videos now, so he'll put that in there for you. Okay, one thing we're unsure of, guys, is our vehicle isn't equipped with air suspension. Somebody's converted it, so I'm not sure actually what the procedure when you jack up one with air suspension. Maybe you just jack it up and it's fine. I've owned other vehicles with air suspension that had a switch you had to turn off before you jack them up. So
Thanks for watching Cars with Nash. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.